Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bold and Beautiful. Today, something shocking happens when RJ finally talks to Electra and tells her a secret that he has been keeping inside for a long time. He has a kid. This is not a story that people are telling, it is not something that somebody got wrong, and it is not an old girlfriend trying to cause trouble. RJ really does have a child from a time ago that he never told anybody about. He was too scared. Felt too bad to say anything. He was also afraid that if he told Electra the truth he would lose her because he really cares about her. RJ has a child. He is finally telling Electra about it. The thing that RJ tells Electra is really shocking to her. It leaves Electra feeling stunned and silent. She is having a time understanding how the man she trusts, RJ, could keep something so big a secret. RJ's voice is shaking as he tells Electra what happened. He says that before Electra came into his life, before they got serious, before he thought about settling down, he made some choices that will affect him for the rest of his life. He tells Electra that he was not ready to be a father at that time. Things were complicated. He thought that staying away would be the best thing to do for everyone, including himself and the people involved. RJ made himself believe that this was the hurtful option. Electra does not listen to any of the excuses at first. The only thing she can hear is that RJ Forrester is already tied to someone forever and she never knew about this. Tears start to fill her eyes. Electra wants to know why RJ Forrester is telling her this now. Why is he telling her after RJ Forrester and Electra have grown closer, after RJ Forrester has made promises to Electra, after Electra has started to believe that she and RJ Forrester can have a future together? RJ feels really bad about what he did. He knows he should have been honest with Electra from the start. He decides to tell her everything because he cannot keep going on like this. He is scared that she will leave him. He has to be truthful. This is a tough thing for him to do, but he knows it is the right thing. Electra is still trying to understand what is going on. She has a lot of questions for RJ. She wants to know who the mother of the child is. She wants to know how old the child is. She also wants to know if RJ is involved with the child and if the child knows who RJ is. What does all of this mean for Electra and RJ? The silence between Electra and RJ is really loud. Electra is having a time understanding the man she knows and this secret part of his life. RJ is waiting for Electra to reject him. There is something else going on that is making Electra feel really uneasy. This thing is about Dylan. Electra starts to feel worried about Dylan quickly. She thinks it is weird that Dylan is suddenly interested in her. She notices that Dylan appears at times. She sees that Dylan gets really upset whenever RJ's name is mentioned. Electra and RJ are still trying to figure things out. Dylan is making things more complicated for Electra. What once felt like a problem for Electra now feels like a big warning sign that she cannot ignore. Could Dylan already know about RJ's child? Is Dylan using this information to get what he wants, waiting for the moment to act? Electra cannot stop thinking that Dylan being around is not a coincidence and that RJ telling the truth might just be what makes everything blow up. RJ's situation is really worrying Electra. She thinks that Dylan's presence is more than just an accident. As Electra steps away to catch her breath, you can see that Electra is starting to lose trust in the people around her. Not RJ, but everyone. Electra thinks back to the times when Dylan said some things that made her wonder if RJ was really trustworthy. Dylan would say things like RJ was not being totally honest. Electra remembers that now. Then Electra thought Dylan was just being jealous or feeling insecure, but now Electra sees those comments in a different way. Electra is realizing that maybe Dylan was trying to tell her something about RJ. RJ is all by himself now. He is really upset and scared that he messed up the best thing that has ever happened to him. He keeps telling himself that he did what was right, that it is important to be honest. Seeing the hurt in Electra's eyes is almost too much for him to handle. As the story goes on, a lot of things start to happen. People find out about RJ's secret. It starts to cause problems at Forrester Creations. Forrester Creations is a place where family and reputation are very important. RJ's secret is that he is a father. The big question is, how will Ridge feel when he finds out that RJ is a father? Brooke will be supportive. She will question why RJ felt he could not come to his parents. What about Eric? His views on family are very important to him. The Forrester family has dealt with a lot of scandals before. A secret child is a big deal. It gets more complicated when the younger people in the family are involved. Electra is still dealing with her problems and she is feeling really torn about what to do. Part of her gets that people have things that happen before that life can be really complicated. That RJ being scared does not mean he is a bad person. Another part of her feels like he lied to her and she wonders if you can really have a good relationship when someone has not been honest with you. She is not sure if she is ready to be in a relationship with RJ that includes a kid she did not know he had and having to work with him to take care of this kid and having to deal with all the things that come with that for the rest of her life. RJ's situation is a lot to take in. She is questioning if she can really handle being in a relationship with RJ and all that comes with it. Dylan is always there. What he does looks really suspicious. When Dylan runs into Electra after she confessed, you can tell a lot from how he reacts. He is too calm. Seems to know something, like he was waiting for this to happen. Dylan tries to make Electra feel better. It does not feel real. It feels like he is just trying to get her to trust him, to make her think he is the choice, the man who does not have any secrets. Instead of making Electra feel calm, what Dylan says makes her feel even more nervous. Dylan's behavior around Electra is still very suspicious. She starts to think that Dylan has his secret plan if he has been watching her weakness like an animal that senses fear. The more Dylan pushes her, the more Electra wants to get, because even though what RJ said was hurtful, Dylan's interest in her feels scary. In an important moment at the end, Electra faces the fact that her life has changed forever because of one conversation with RJ and Dylan. Electra realizes that Dylan's actions are making her feel uncomfortable and that she needs to be careful around him, around Dylan. She does not know what to do. She is thinking about walking from RJ or taking some time to think. Maybe she will try to understand what is going on with RJ. One thing is for sure. Things will never go back to the way they were. RJ told her some things that have changed everything. Now we know more about his past. It is affecting Electra and Dylan. The future that Electra and Dylan and RJ are moving towards is uncertain. When the camera stops rolling, people who are watching are left with a lot of questions. They are very invested in what happens to RJ and Electra and Dylan. Will Electra be able to accept the truth about RJ and the kid that is part of the deal? Will she feel so hurt that she turns to Dylan for comfort? Is Dylan really there to help her? Is he just waiting for the right moment to make things worse? What will happen to the Forrester family when they find out something that changes everything they thought they knew about themselves and their reputation? One thing is certain. The Bold and the Beautiful is setting the stage for a dramatic storm of love, secrets, and consequences, and fans won't want to miss a single second as RJ, Electra, and Dylan brace for the fallout that's only just beginning. Electra is worried about Dylan. Steffi Forrester Finnegan is going to yell at Hope Logan Spencer. This is because Electra Forrester is dealing with some problems with Dylan. On Thursday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Electra talks to Will about her concerns. She is worried about something that is happening at his house. Electra wants to help Dylan. She does not like that Dylan is staying alone with Will at his house. Ivy Forrester thinks this is not an idea. She said something at the office that made Electra feel uneasy about the situation. Electra Forrester is really concerned about Dylan and what is happening with Will. Electra is thinking that this situation will not last long. This is because Steffi said there is a job opening for a receptionist that Dylan might get. Electra really wants Dylan to find a job and move into her place. So Electra will keep telling herself that this is for now. Electra is not sure if she can really trust Will. Will might tell Electra that she can trust him. Electra will still worry about things. If Electra finds out that Will ask Dylan to have dinner with him while Electra is working late, Electra will feel really uncomfortable. Electra will probably feel this way because she does not want anything to happen between Will and Dylan. Meanwhile, Steffi and Hope are going to have a fight about what is best for Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes. Hope thinks that Deacon Sharp is very unhappy in his marriage to Sheila Sharp. So Hope has been telling Deacon Sharp to be honest with Taylor Hayes about his feelings. Steffi is getting more and more worried that Deacon Sharp will leave Sheila Sharp and start a relationship with Taylor Hayes. When Steffi finds out that Hope has been trying to get Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp, Steffi will be very angry with Hope. Steffi does not want Deacon Sharp to leave Sheila Sharp for Taylor Hayes. Steffi will get all riled up as she insists Deacon and Taylor's connection is way too dangerous for them to surrender to. Although Steffi will think they have to shut this down before it's too late, they may already be past the point of no return. Will the recent Deacon and Taylor kiss fantasy turn into a real makeout session soon? The shockwaves from RJ's confession do not stop with that emotional reveal. They only get stronger and stronger. It is like a wave that keeps getting bigger and bigger. This wave is so strong that it threatens to pull everyone down with it. When Electra thinks about what RJ said, she feels like something heavy is pushing down on her chest. This makes it really hard for her to breathe. RJ is going to be a parent. This is a deal because it means that RJ's past is not just something that happened a long time ago. It is still a part of his life. It will always affect what happens to him in the future. The fact that there is a child involved makes everything feel more real. This child is a living person who will grow up and need RJ to take care of them. Electra keeps thinking about what RJ said to her, going over it again in her head. She thinks about every time he paused and every time his voice shook, trying to figure out if he was hiding something. She wants to know if he told her everything or if this is the start of her finding out more things that will change everything she thought she knew about her life. Electra's heart hurts because even though she is shocked and feels betrayed, she saw that RJ was really scared. He was not scared that she would find out what he did. He was scared of losing her. That makes everything more complicated for Electra. RJ's fear of losing her makes her think about things differently. RJ is really struggling because he is vulnerable. This makes it very hard for Electra to just walk away from him. She has to think about what happened and if she can forgive him. At the time, RJ is going through a lot of pain by himself. He is walking back and forth, remembering the shocked look on Electra's face. It is like a dream that he cannot wake up from. For a time, RJ thought that it was better to keep quiet about his child. He believed that telling people about his child would only cause problems and hurt people. RJ and his situation are making Electra think about RJ and his child. If she can really forgive him for what he did. Now he was completely honest with himself. That was a really tough thing to do. He was right about some things, also wrong about others. The pain he feels is very real. He also feels relieved that he does not have to hide anymore. He tells himself that no matter what happens next, at least Electra knows him, including all his flaws. That does not make him any less scared that he might get hurt really badly. Things are already very complicated. Now Dylan is a bigger part of the picture than ever. Dylan's presence is always on Electra's mind. That is a pretty big deal. The more Electra thinks about it, the more she sees that Dylan is always near her when she is feeling down. He gives his opinion about RJ a lot even when Electra does not ask for it. Now Electra thinks that Dylan did this on purpose. It is like a puzzle and all the pieces are coming together. When Dylan talks to her again, he sounds like he is reading from a script. Electra feels like Dylan is not just surprised by what RJ said. She thinks Dylan knew it was going to happen. Dylan's sympathy does not feel real to Electra. She thinks there is something behind it, something that is not very nice. Electra is starting to wonder if Dylan is a good friend or if he has other reasons for being around her. That realization sends a chill down Electra's spine. She starts to think about how much Dylan knows. Electra wonders how far Dylan is willing to go to get into her life. Is Dylan trying to keep her safe? Is he using her pain to get what he wants? This is really tiring for Electra. It makes her pay attention and remember that Dylan must prove himself to her. Electra thinks that she should not trust Dylan just because she wants to. Trust is something that Dylan has to earn from her. The drama is getting worse. RJ's child is a big secret that might get out. This secret is not between Electra and Dylan anymore, it is getting closer to the Forrester family. RJ is really scared of what will happen when Ridge and Brooke find out. He knows they will have reactions that could change everything between them. Ridge always talks about being responsible and taking care of the family name. He might have a time understanding why RJ kept his child a secret because it goes against what Ridge has taught him. RJ's child is a deal and Ridge will have to think about what this means for their family. Brooke is a person who feels strongly about the people she cares about, but she is also very sad because of something that happened. She wonders why RJ did not talk to her about his problems. RJ is afraid that Brooke will judge him. What really scares RJ is that his child might someday feel bad because RJ kept them a secret. The thought of his child feeling this way bothers RJ a lot. It is making him think about what he needs to do now. RJ feels like he is at a point where he has to make a decision. He cannot wait any longer. Brooke and RJ and his child are all connected in this situation. It is very important to RJ. Electra starts to think about what it means to stay with RJ. If she loves RJ, she has to accept a future that's not what she thought it would be. This future has a kid who's not hers, and she has to deal with RJ and the kid's mom, which is going to be really tough. She also has to think about RJ's past, which she does not know much about. Electra is not sure if she can handle all of this. She wonders if her love for RJ is enough to make everything okay. Electra feels a lot of emotions. Sometimes she feels bad for RJ and the kid. Sometimes she feels mad and upset. She does not know what to do. Loving RJ now means she has to think about Electra and RJ's future and Electra and RJ's life, with the kid, and how Electra will deal with RJ's past relationship. One moment Electra wants to scream at RJ because he took away her chance to make a decision that she can live with. The moment she wants to hold RJ and tell him that she gets why he is scared, because Electra is scared too. Then there is Dylan. He is always there paying attention to her and waiting for her. It is a little weird how patient he is. Dylan shows her that he is a guy and that he is not hiding anything like RJ is. When Dylan pushes her to talk or do something, Electra starts to think that he does not really care about her in a nice way. She thinks that Dylan wants something from her, and it is not just because he likes her. Electra is not sure what to make of Dylan and his actions. There is an edge to the way he acts, a hunger underneath the way he seems to care, as if winning Electra over is less about loving her and more about winning her. This makes Electra face a truth. Just because someone is nice to her does not mean they are safe. As the days go by, things get more tense. It does not seem like anything will get better. RJ tries to give Electra some space, respecting her need to think about things. Every moment they are not together feels like it is hurting their relationship. Electra and RJ are having a lot of problems. It is not clear what will happen to them. RJ and Electra are struggling to make things work between them. He does not try to defend himself or explain things more. He knows that making excuses will not fix the hurt he has caused. So he thinks about the kind of man he wants to be and the kind of father he wants to be from on. For the time, he really thinks about being a part of his child's life, not just because he has to, but because he wants to be a good father to his child. He wants to make a commitment to his child. The fact that RJ might really change and become a person makes things even more complicated for Electra. If RJ is really willing to change and grow, does Electra owe it to RJ and to herself to think about trying to work things out with him? Just when it seems like they might be able to fix things, Electra starts to worry about Dylan. She sees Dylan watching RJ from a distance. Dylan looks really upset. His face is not just worried, it looks angry. Electra sees this. It makes her think that Dylan is not okay with the idea of RJ changing and being with her again. When Dylan is confronted, he does not give an answer. This makes Electra think that he is hiding something. She believes that Dylan does not think of RJ's child as a problem. Instead, Dylan sees the child as a way to get what he wants. He wants to use the child to come between Electra and RJ. Electra realizes this, decides to be careful around Dylan. She starts to keep her distance from him. At the time, Electra is still not sure about RJ. Something big is. It is getting really serious. People are talking about RJ's secret. It seems like someone else might already know about it. This is a deal for Electra. She is really scared that everyone will find out. If that happens, she will not be able to think about it on her own. RJ's secret is going to be over the place and Electra will not be able to deal with it quietly. Electra is running out of time to figure out what she wants to do about RJ's secret. If the truth about RJ's secret comes out, it will be a show and Electra will have to deal with it in front of everyone. RJ's secret is a personal thing for Electra, and she does not want to have to talk about it with everyone. The tension is really high and Electra is fed up, so she talks to RJ again. She wants him to tell her the truth, no more hiding things or telling half of the story. RJ is really upset and tired. He opens up to Electra about the things that scare him, the things he is sorry for, and the things he wants to do better. He does not say sorry over and over. He does not say he will be perfect. He says he will be honest with her from now on. This conversation is important because it changes things. It does not make everything okay. It changes the way they talk to each other, from hiding things to being open and honest. Electra and RJ are trying to make things work. RJ is willing to be transparent with Electra. Electra is really listening to what's going on. She does not know what to do because she wants to protect herself. She still loves this person. The episode. We do not know what will happen next.